Video opens with epic, vibrant visuals of vast oceans, swirling clouds, and the silhouette of a lone swordsman standing on a cliff, facing a storm. The music is a slow, powerful, and inspiring orchestral piece. Captain, have you ever felt it? A gap. A chasm, stretching between the person you are right now, and the person you know, deep in your bones, you were meant to become. It's a terrifying space, isn't it? Filled with the echoes of self-doubt, the ghosts of past failures, and the paralyzing fear that you just don't have what it takes. We look at our grandest ambitions, to build a legacy, to master a craft, to change the world, and we feel so small in comparison. I call this feeling the chasm of potential. It is the single greatest dream killer on the grand line of life. But I promise you, by the end of our voyage today, you will not only understand how to face the chasm, you will receive the blueprint to build a bridge across it. A bridge forged not of talent or luck, but of something far stronger, an unbreakable will. Phase 2. The problem. Visuals shift to more intimate, relatable scenes. An artist staring at a blank canvas, an athlete looking at a scoreboard showing a loss, a student overwhelmed by textbooks. The shots are framed to emphasize the feeling of being small in a big world. Captain, you have a mountain in your mind. You can see the peak. It's clear, it's beautiful, it's where you belong. Maybe it's the title of CEO, the cover of a book with your name on it, the roar of a crowd chanting your name. The vision is what gets you out of bed. But then you look down. You see your own 2 feet, planted firmly at the base of this impossible climb. And the sheer scale of the journey, it crushes you. You think, who am I to even attempt this? You see others who seem to be climbing effortlessly, born with better gear, a better map. Every step you don't take feels like a confirmation of your own inadequacy. That chasm of potential widens. The excitement you once felt curdles into anxiety. The dream that once fueled you, now just reminds you of how far you have to go. Imagine a young chef who dreams of earning a Michelin star. She tastes the exquisite dishes of the masters, she reads their books, she sees their success. Her dream is a fire in her heart. But when she stands in her own small kitchen, with her simple ingredients and limited tools, the dream feels like a cruel joke. The gap between her current reality and that shining star seems infinite. So, she hesitates. She tells herself, maybe tomorrow. Maybe when I'm better. Maybe when I'm ready. But ready never comes. And here is the hidden cost, the secret poison of the chasm of potential. It's not just that you failed to reach your dream. The true tragedy is that, to escape the pain of that chasm, you begin to shrink your dream to fit your reality. You start aiming for a smaller mountain. You convince yourself that the peak wasn't that important anyway. You trade the grand adventure for the quiet safety of the harbor, and a vital part of your spirit, the part that yearns for the horizon, quietly starves. The world doesn't just lose a great chef, the chef loses her own world. But what if I told you there's a different way? A way to stand at the edge of that impossible chasm, not with fear, but with a quiet, burning resolve. A way to see failure not as a fall, but as the very foundation of the bridge you're about to build. To understand this, we must turn our spyglass to a man who lives his life on the blade's edge. A man whose ambition is so vast it borders on madness. The pirate hunter, Roronoa Zoro. Phase 3. The solution. Visuals shift dramatically to epic scenes of Zoro. His first appearance, his training sequences, his intense, focused eyes. The music swells, becoming more determined and heroic. Captain Roronoa Zoro wants to be the world's strongest swordsman. This is not a casual desire. It is the core of his being, a promise forged in blood and tears, made to a childhood friend in the shadow of death. His ambition is a mountain taller than any in the world. And yet, Zoro is never paralyzed by the distance. He is the living antidote to the chasm of potential. His method is what I call the philosophy of the scar. Most people believe that strength is the absence of weakness. That a perfect record, a flawless path, is the mark of a champion. Zoro teaches us the opposite. True, unbreakable strength is forged by confronting your weakness, by being shattered, and by using the pieces to build something stronger. A scar is not a symbol of a time you were weak. It is a permanent reminder that you survived, you endured, and you grew. The philosophy of the scar is built on 3 core principles. Principle 1. The vow of defeat. When Zoro faced Mihawk, the man who sat on the throne he coveted, he wasn't just beaten. He was humiliated. The chasm between him and his goal was revealed to be a bottomless abyss. In that moment of absolute failure, most people would have broken. Their dream would have died. Zoro did something else. He turned his greatest defeat into his foundational promise. From now until I defeat him, he vows to his captain, I will never lose again. This isn't arrogance. Pay close attention. It is a radical reframing of failure. He didn't promise to be perfect. He promised that the pain of this loss would be so profound, so educational, that it would serve as the fuel for every single day that followed. He transformed a wound into a compass. Every time he feels that scar on his chest, he is not reminded of his failure, he is reminded of his vow. He turned the poison into the antidote. Principle 2. The hierarchy of loyalty. Here is a paradox that foils so many ambitious people. Zoro's personal dream is to be number 1. And yet, his primary loyalty is to ensure his captain, Monkey D. Luffy, becomes the Pirate King. His ambition is secondary. This is not a weakness, it is his greatest strategic asset. When your ambition serves only your own ego, it is brittle. The first major failure, the first moment you are surpassed, can shatter it. But by anchoring his personal dream to a purpose greater than himself, the dream of his captain, Zoro gives his ambition an unbreakable foundation. He must become the world's strongest swordsman, not just for himself, but because the king of the pirates will need nothing less. This hierarchy protects him from the isolating narcissism of a solitary goal. It provides a reason to get up when his own motivation falters. His ambition is not a monument to himself, it is a pillar supporting a larger dream. Principle 3. The practice of presence. Scene. Close-ups of Zoro in battle and training. His intense focus, the sweat on his brow, the concentration in his eyes. He is completely in the moment. How do you cross an impossibly wide chasm? Zoro's answer is simple, you don't. You don't stare at the other side. You don't worry about the 1,000 steps it will take to get there. You focus, with every ounce of your being, on laying the single stone directly in front of you. Zoro's mind is not in the future, fighting a phantom Mihawk on a distant throne. His mind is here. Now. On this opponent. This lift. This sword swing. This breath. He seeks to win the next second, and then the one after that. He knows that becoming the world's strongest is not an event that will happen one day. It is the cumulative result of millions of perfectly executed, fully present moments. Think of it like this. The chasm of potential is a vast canyon. Most of us stand on one edge, paralyzed by the view. We spend all our energy dreaming of the other side. Zoro, guided by the philosophy of the scar, ignores the other side. He turns his back to it. He picks up a single stone, a single training session, a single battle, and dedicates his entire world to placing it perfectly at his feet. Then he does it again. And again. One day, he will look up and find that he is no longer standing at the edge of a chasm, but in the middle of an unshakable bridge, built by his own hands. The destination was reached by obsessing over the journey. *### Phase 4. The application, the visuals become more direct and instructional. Clean, bold graphics appear on screen, summarizing the steps. The tone shifts to that of a direct guide. Captain, the philosophy of the scar is not just a grand story. It is a practical toolkit for the ambitious soul. It is a way to turn your own chasm of potential into a path forward. So, let's make this real. Here are 4 steps you can take, starting today, to apply Zoro's mindset to your own grand ambition. Step 1. Declare your Mihawk. Your dream is too vague. Let's fix that. I want you to identify the absolute pinnacle of your chosen field. The person, the achievement, the standard of excellence that represents the world's strongest. This is your Mihawk. Don't be afraid of the name. Don't be intimidated. The goal isn't to create a rival, but to create a landmark. A fixed point on the map that gives your journey direction. Take out a piece of paper, or open a new note on your phone. Write this down. My ambition is to become a. My Mihawk is. By naming it, you make it real. You turn a hazy dream into a clear destination. Step 2. Forge your vow of defeat. Think about a recent failure or a significant setback on the path to your ambition. A project that failed, a pitch that was rejected, a competition you lost. We are not going to bury it. We are going to mine it for fuel. Underneath your Mihawk declaration, write this sentence: because I failed it, I now vow to master. For example, because my novel was rejected for having a weak plot, I now vow to master the art of story structure. Or, because I lost the tennis match due to exhaustion, I now vow to master cardiovascular endurance. This is not a promise to never fail again. That's impossible. This is a vow of defeat. It is a promise to never let a failure be meaningless. You are turning your scars into your syllabus. Step 3. Find your captain. Supported by several pillars, one of which is labeled, your ambition. Your personal ambition cannot be the only thing that matters. It needs to serve a higher purpose to survive the storms ahead. Ask yourself this critical question: if I achieve my ultimate goal, who benefits besides me? What greater cause is served by my success? This captain doesn't have to be a person. It can be your family, your community, a scientific discovery, a code of ethics, a movement for change. Write it down. I must achieve my ambition, because it is essential to serving. This is your anchor. When your own motivation is low, when your ego is bruised, your loyalty to your captain will pull you forward. It transforms a selfish desire into a noble duty. I want to be the best becomes, I must be the best for them. Step 4. Win the next 5 minutes. Now, I want you to look at your grand ambition, your Mihawk, your vow, your captain. Take it all in. And now, forget it. Your only concern is the immediate present. Ask yourself, what is the single most valuable action I can take in the next 5 minutes to move 1 inch closer to my goal? Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Is it sending 1 email? Reading 1 page of a difficult book? Doing 1 set of push-ups? Writing 1 line of code? Don't plan to do it. Do it. Set a timer for 5 minutes and execute with the total, all-consuming focus of a swordsman in a duel. This is the practice of presence. Grand destinies are not achieved in grand moments. They are forged in an unending chain of victorious 5-minute intervals. Win the now, and the future will take care of itself. *### Phase 5. The proof. The visuals return to epic moments from One Piece, intercut with real-world imagery of athletes, scientists, and leaders. The music becomes more reflective and powerful. Captain, does this philosophy actually work? Does it build a bridge across the chasm, or is it just a beautiful story? The proof is etched into Zoro's very skin. His journey is a living testament to this mindset. The scar on his chest from Mihawk is the physical manifestation of his vow of defeat, a promise he lives by every day. His closed eye is not a sign of weakness, but a monument to a sacrifice he made to gain the strength necessary to serve his captain. He literally gave up half his sight of the world to gain a clearer vision of his path. Everything he has accomplished, from defeating Daz Bones in Alabasta by learning to cut steel, to overcoming King in Wano by embracing his own nature as a conqueror, has been the direct result of this philosophy. He confronts a limit, suffers a wound, makes a vow, and emerges stronger. He doesn't climb the mountain, he becomes the mountain. This isn't just pirate fantasy. It's profound psychology. There is a concept known as post-traumatic growth. Decades of research have shown that people who endure immense hardship and trauma, soldiers, survivors of accidents, people who lose everything, often don't just return to normal. A significant number of them experience a psychological awakening. They report stronger relationships, a deeper sense of purpose, and a resilience they never knew they possessed. They didn't just heal, they grew from the wound. The ancient Stoic philosophers had a name for this. They called it amor fati, the love of one's fate. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the philosophy of the scar. The obstacle is the path. The defeat is the lesson. The pain is the fuel. The logic is undeniable. An ambition without direction is just a wish. An ambition without resilience shatters at the first blow. An ambition without presence is a source of constant anxiety. Zoro's framework provides all three. It gives you a compass, an engine, an anchor, and a method. It is a psychological system for making the impossible, inevitable. Asterisk ### Phase 6. The call to action, the music softens, becoming inspiring and inviting. The visuals show a montage of the Straw Hat crew, laughing, fighting together, and sailing towards the horizon. Captain, the journey to become the world's strongest is not a lonely one. It is a path walked by all who dare to dream. Zoro's path is his own, but the principles that guide him can guide us all. Now, it's your turn to set sail. In the comments below, I want you to take the first step. Declare your Mihawk. Tell our crew what your grand ambition is, and name the standard of excellence you are aiming for. Let's fill this space with the untamed dreams of 1,000 future kings and queens. There is power in declaring your destination. If you believe that a scar is not an end, but a beginning, if you believe that our greatest failures forge our greatest strengths, then you carry the inherited will. Join our crew. Subscribe to the channel, and strike that bell so you never miss the call to adventure. Zoro's ambition is made unbreakable because it is anchored to his captain's dream. To truly understand the foundation of his strength, you must understand the man he chose to follow. So, your next heading is clear. Click here to watch our breakdown of Monkey D. Luffy and the untamable psychology of freedom. It is the other half of this powerful equation. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon, but keep your hands on the hilt. The world is yours for the taking.